Yeah, everybody, hey, welcome back. So, Halo is out. Halo, the TV series, the first episode is out, and it is an unmitigated disaster. Out the door, total disaster. I honestly expected as much. I am not really surprised whatsoever that this. I thought maybe it might have taken about, probably the first episode might have been, you know, bad, but not so bad. And the second episode would have been worse, and by the third one, but the first episode, they just decided, hey, let's just ruin it one time, and we'll be good from there. The show, here's an article from Bounding into Comics, and it sums it up pretty evenly. Halo, another TV show ruined by identity politics and bad writing, and it is everywhere in this show. The first episode of Paramount's television adaptation of Halo just touched down, and the problems are more prolific than anyone could have possibly imagined. For casual sci-fi fans, this might cut it barely, and I don't really think so at all. But for long-time fans of the video game franchise, it's an abomination featuring all the usual suspects that ruin modern adaptations. Now, let me just see if this, I'll try to break down this in as pretty much as simplistically as possible. Now, you start off with a base on some world. We never find out what the name of the base is or anything. And the dig site, right? Now the forces that attack and kill the majority of people there, the CGI for it does not look awful, but it doesn't look great either. Let us put that in first. And these forces show up and kill. Now, they say that it kill everybody, but that's not entirely true. People are still alive at that point. Especially, the one small Chinese girl, Kwan Han. Let me see if I could get a of her. Yeah, this is her here. She is supposed to be the main star of this series. They have relegated Master Chief to a backup character. She is supposed to be the star of the show, and apparently she has some kind of supernatural powers or something like that. You never get to see that in the first episode. All you see for the majority of the episode is that she has blood on her face and nobody cleans it off. Alright, so when these forces attack, the Spartans show up. Master Chief and thing leading them, and it have about, I think they show up with about, I think probably, I don't remember the exact number, I think probably about 10 of them or something. So 10 Spartans show up, and they kill all these forces that are attacking quite expertly. The action looks a little good, but it's over way too quickly and doesn't have any lasting impression on it whatsoever. What you do get as a lasting impression in this show is 60 minutes of women screaming non-stop about how they are in charge, I'm in charge, I'm important, I'm this. They push all the women to the front and relegate the men to being completely flicking useless. This is where it comes in. Let me get it here. Right. Things really heat up. Master Chief arrives on the scene with his silver team Spartans in tow. The Titans immediately showcasing the Spartans doing what they do, best putting down all of opposition. Master Chief, for his part, is rendered incredibly accurate and true to form, right down to the helmet visor. Yes, that looks really good. Now the thing about it with the Spartans though, when they showed up, they didn't even try to get any of the civilians to safety. They were more interested in killing the enemy, leaving the civilians to get slaughtered. This isn't any aliens here. Now let me just again, they have to do with the racial equality, equity thing that manifested itself in Halo by having people of color outnumber white characters by a factor of about 10 to 1. Now this wouldn't be such an issue, but it's so prevalent in it. Like you find one white person here, you find 4 black people, 3 Chinese people, a couple Indian, and a couple this and a couple that, and they're just everywhere. And yet, when you just have the race swapping alone, wouldn't be so bad. You understand me? They have to push this thing. Where yes, here it is, angry Indian woman, doctor woman, and they spend the entirety of this show with all the women up front in charge, and the men are just useless cannon fodder to be shot at any time they bloody well choose. This episode also gives off the obligatory female-centric vibe that will undoubtedly get worse over time. I mean, literally, you see it in these shows that they continue to do this and fail miserably, but they don't stop. Quan Han berates and chastises Master Chief while Admiral Margaret Parangoski struts about trying to sell the notion that she's a powerful leader. That's the angry Indian woman. Unfortunately, actress Shabaz Azim looks downright miscast and awkward, like she has no idea what she's doing. And that is a constant thing in this episode. Everybody looks confused, everybody looks scared, everybody looks like they have absolutely no idea what the hell they're doing there, what they're supposed to be about. They all just look like they suddenly just woke up there and trying desperately to act like they know what they're doing. Once again, all females need to be in positions of power, while all men needed to be subordinates. On the racial side, all non-white actors must be running the operation, while all white characters must lower their eyes and know their place. This is especially ironic given the last scene of the episode where hundreds of UNSC soldiers converge on a dropship containing Master Chief. The overwhelming majority are white, almost to suggest that they are only used as foot soldier cannon fodder on the front lines. Exactly my point. Exactly my point. Let's have the angry women come out there and behave like they are so interested. Everybody has to look down and be so afraid of them, while they just screw up everything else. Now, Master Chief is the iconic star of Halo, put it that way, the video game. But the creators of this TV series made it very clear early on, they have never played the game, they're not watching anything about the game, they're not interested in anything about the game. They want to tell their own story, which completely screws it up. You have a blueprint to work with, but you don't want to use it. You have absolutely no interest in using that blueprint whatsoever. So, what do we get in the show? When we all think, one of the most iconic things about Master Chief is that he never removes his helmet. That mystery, that mystique about him is part of what made the character. They built that around him. Oh, of course not. All of a sudden, here we get, bam, Master Chief removes his helmet. And once again, look at this face, completely confused and scared. You literally took out the one thing that was binding this show together, Master Chief's mystery about him, the fact he's an elite soldier. No, you had to have the actor take off his helmet, because why? I need to show my face that I am here. You could have had him, you know, if you had to see him remove his helmet, it could have been something in the shadows or something, so you never actually see his face, adding to the mystery of it. No. I mean, the episode really hits rock bottom, and they're right. The moment the chief and I mean, I think as from his versus Babyface, I did correct. You know, you shouldn't call him chief. You call him Master Chef. Takes his helmet off in order to reveal Pablo Schreiber's face. It was a fatal and suicidal mistake, and it's astonishing to see it happen in the very first debut episode. Like the Mandalorian, the lead character's mask persona is what sells him, and revealing the face is a huge no-no. And speaking of the Mandalorian, I mean, now, when you look at the similarities between Master Chief and the Mandalorian, here they say, and then he speaks, and his voice sounds identical to Din Djarin from the Mandalorian, as if the character leaped into the Halo universe and slapped on a new suit of armor. I was saying that from the beginning. I said this was, I figured to myself, this was what they was going to do, you know. This is what they were going to do. This is basically just another Mandalorian ripoff, which is not what Halo is supposed to be. It's not what Halo is supposed to be at all. And it's gotten to the point now, when you look at Rotten Tomatoes, and Rotten Tomatoes is a website I never really bank too much on it, because a lot of them these critics and they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. Look at the score: 61% critics, 63% user rate, audience score. And I think it should be lower. The show is just, I mean, it's the first episode and you've already done it so badly. You have already done it so badly. If you need to look at a live action Halo series that could actually be considered interesting, I would say check out a Halo miniseries called Forward Unto Dawn. I watched it a while back, and I think I'm going to rewatch it again, just to wash out the taste of this. The characters were much better defined. The female Spartans, I think, were actually like people. The characters you weren't trying to force some I am woman, hear me roar at the expense of it. And even speaking about that, the show in of itself makes no sense. They didn't put any thought whatsoever into the story, because at one point you have Master Chief going into some cave, touching this, no, he touches this artifact on the wall, and the whole cave kind of lights up with these symbols and things. But you are a trained Spartan soldier, and you and your team walk into the cave. You all don't even check around to see if there's any enemies inside of there. No, you just walk in and there's something hiding in there waiting to kill them. And they could have all been slaughtered and never known. So when he touches the thing on the wall now, they say to themselves, okay, when he reports it to headquarters, they're like, bring back the artifact. The whole cave lights up with symbols. You don't think maybe something, maybe the whole flicking cave is important. No, let's forget the cave and bring back the artifact. And when they bring back the artifact, now Master Chief touches it again, the artifact somehow turns into some kind of blasted EMP. You don't think about anything. I mean, there's a point in this episode, I believe it was around this point here, I can't be sure, but it was around this point, where you have them saying that they don't know how they're going to beat the enemy they come around something. I can't remember the name of them right now. I played Halo once or twice. I'm not an expert, but I played Halo once and I watched the show. But the alien enemy that they're after, that they are battling against, they are saying to them, they're saying they don't know how they're going to defeat them. Yet, literally, minutes ago, Master Chief and his squadron slaughtered about 30 of them. How the hell do you not know how you're going to beat them when they clearly just kill a bunch of them? A small squadron of about 10 soldiers, 10 Spartans, brutally slaughtered 30 of them. Clearly you can win. But when you keep doing this nonsense to try and elicit some sort of emotions with no common sense behind it, this is what you get. Absolute garbage. I am an angry Indian woman and I am in charge. I'm a doctor and I'm a little rebellious, but we are important. And then you have a whole bunch of other cannon fodder here, line up a bunch of white people. We have Master Chief taking off his helmet because we all need to see this mug that looks like I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You understand me? And then not even long in with his helmet off again. Here's when he touches the artifact and it, some kind of EMP pulse comes out. But the most important thing to remember is that none of that is important because some small Chinese girl is supposed to be the main star of this show, not Master Chief. Not Master Chief. This thing is going the way. I mean, everybody just looks so scared. Look at this face. You don't even know what you're doing there. This is just so goddamn awful, boy. I mean, I have friends who've played Halo who are Halo enthusiasts, and if they see this nonsense, they're just going to be horrified at the shit they're going to do. They won't even watch it. Lord, I mean, this is the crap that they put out and expect everybody to be happy with it. Look, that's it for me and this review. I watched the first episode of this. I have absolutely no interest in watching any more. I don't want to see any more episodes. I think the people who are going to review this episode by episode, good for them. They have much more mental capacity to take on this nonsense than me, but that's it for me and this video. Let me know what you all think if you've seen this new Halo, the first episode of this Halo horrendousness. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the notification bell, and I shall see you all in the next video. Take care.